Ducky, and I am so excited to be filming again. I haven't filmed a video in so long, at least speaking to the camera. Yeah, I'm just so excited to be back doing this. I now finally have one of these fluffy mics, so hopefully the audio will be better than my phone was. But I am even more excited because today I got a package in the mail. So let's open this up. Right, I hope my mic will stay there and it would sound fine. Who knows, I'm learning all these things. Okay, so my friend Chantal Arts has created a prompt book, and I am so excited to get into this and start painting and drawing and doing all these prompts. I am so proud of her. She's come so far in such a short amount of time, and I just hope this book does really, really well because she deserves it. She's a lovely, lovely person. And you said creature then. I haven't talked to anyone in a while other than my partner. I have been housebound for a while because of my health, so my speech has gone a bit bad, but we'll get there. Anyway, let's get into this. So let's get started with this book. I am not going to do the cover just yet because I want to think about that a little bit more before I decide on an idea for the cover. So I always really struggle with start and end pages because if they're in a different pen or a different style, it really frustrates me. So I think I'm just going to pencil in the date for now, which is November 9th, 2025. Yes, that is the date. And then when I get to the end date, I will then decorate this page. Am I going to regret that when I get to the end of the book? Possibly, but that's a future me problem. So, this is created by Chantal Arts and me, Ducky. I have been really, really into metal kind of fonts recently. It's just something I've been really, really enjoying, and I find that they're actually really quite simple to make. I find that it's just basically, once you know how to make the shapes, it's mainly just a lot of scribbles in the right way. And if you're really struggling with a letter, especially like some letters are more difficult than others, I find that you just need to look up various band names that have that letter in the name, and then you'll find loads of different examples of different things you can do, and then kind of, I wouldn't say copy any of them, but take inspiration from them. So obviously I have been away from YouTube for a while, and this isn't the first video that's going up, but for me so far I haven't actually uploaded any videos because I'm trying to get ahead. And I think people will find that my artwork is a lot less wholesome than it used to be. I have definitely started to find my style. I love gothic art, I love alternative art, so creepy art, that is kind of where I want to take my art and kind of become. So yeah, I hope you enjoy the art I have and the ideas I have coming up, and hopefully at some point within the next year I will have a house and a art studio, and then I will definitely be taking on some bigger projects, which I am really excited by. There we go. As our first page. Okay, I'm not going to read out this entire page for you, but basically the gist is this is a book that will help you kind of get into creating, help with art block, with finding your style, with all of those kind of difficulties that artists have, new and old artists. By new and old I mean like new to art, not necessarily age. Have a look. So from what I can tell, this book is split up into different chapters, and Chantal has said herself in that video, which I will link downstairs in the description, that you don't have to go in order. However, I think I will probably go in order because otherwise I will be really indecisive about which pages to do and then do none of them, because that's how my brain works. So the first page will be in the Who Are You category, and it'll be which artist are you? Create a piece that encompasses you. So let's get into it. Which artist are you? Create a piece that encompasses you. So I have done a sketch because it would take forever to do the sketch on camera. So I've decided to draw myself in the center. And then I have these 8 different sections around me for different art types. I'm what you would call a style hopper when it comes to my art. So I kind of jump around a lot with different art styles. These probably aren't all the art styles I do because there are some that just wouldn't work with this, but like collage, I didn't want to do collage, but I do love collage. So you'll get to see what the different areas are as we get head on. For the next 2 sessions, this one and this one, I'll be using my paint pens / Posca pens, whatever. So I haven't really spoken about the background, and I was really struggling to decide what to do the background of because I felt like it had to be a landscape, and I don't really do many landscapes just because to fit in all the things I wanted to fit in, I felt like a landscape would. Oh, I'm going into the wrong fucking section. Okay. Just have to ignore that. I felt like it had to be a landscape to work for what I wanted. It was really difficult to decide on what to do. So I decided on this abandoned theme park. So I feel like a theme park kind of fits my style quite well and fits my kind of interests. So I'm just trying to make this water look really murky and gross, like it's been stagnant for a really long time. So I have started with one of the styles I struggle with the most, which is realism, but semi-realism with Poscas. I see people do it and I love when they do it, but I really struggled to do it myself. Oh no. Okay, and that's why you don't leave stuff like that in your workspace. Oh, no, I've just got stuff on there. Okay, that took forever, but it looks really cool. While I've got the Poscas out, I do the other side, which is just going to be a very cartoony style. I must say, I am very jealous of the people who have the Ohuhu paint markers. I have had these Posca markers for years and years and years. From like, I think back in college I got these. I mean, some of them are newer, like gifts. But the colour selection is so poor unless you're going to spend loads of money, and I am not about that. I am not going to spend a load of money on some new Poscas. That's just not going to happen. I didn't think about how few brown shades I have, which is practically zero unless you include the beige, which I have kind of mixed with the brown there, which isn't exactly the look I'm going for because I was trying to go for flat colours. You can't necessarily always do that with Poscas. Oh, hi Cookie.
Not on the paper.
Hi.
She has wet paws. Apologies.
Oh, fuck. It's okay. It's okay. That bit I'm cutting out. That bit's the hero markers that will cover it. It's okay. Okay, so now all the base colours are down, I'm going to go over with my black pen to do all the outlines. Okay, so that's all done, and I think now we're gonna move on to pointillism, which I am doing the smallest area because pointillism is really fucking annoying, but it looks so cool, but it takes forever. So anyway, pointillism, we'll do this one now. I think pointillism has a really ugly phase right until it's nearly finished, and then it looks really good. So let's hold out hope for this one. Okay, so we finished the pointillism, so now we're going to go on to the Ahoo section. We'll be doing some outlining in pen. I think I'm done with that one now, so that's the Ahoo markers. I definitely say I'm normally a bit better with my Ahoo markers. I'm not exactly the proudest of that one, but oh well. And as you can see, I made multiple mistakes by going on this section by accident, so that's great. I need to cover those up. So next we're going to do this section with, if I can find the right pen, of course it's the last one. I've started doing this style, I wouldn't really know what to call it, but it's just very like sketchy and I really enjoy it. It's like very quick, so this section should be done pretty quickly. That's this one done, and I can imagine that a lot of people would probably not consider this very good, and to be fair, a couple years ago I probably would have looked at this and gone, that's not art, but I enjoy it and it's fun, so yeah, and it's nice and quick for when you just want to do some quick art, so there's that. So while we finish that one, I'm going to go over to the other side of the page and do this one, and this is going to be like a cartoony style with pens, so it's very much just like basically line work. Yeah, line work. There we go. Okay, so the next section we're going to do is this one, and it's going to be pen realism, which I haven't really done that much of in a while, so we'll see how this goes. And it's also not going to be like super realism, it's just realism-ish. Okay, that felt like it took forever, but I'm finally done with that section. So now we only have this section, and you might be thinking, what about this bit? So we are going to cut this section and then draw that section in the book, and I'm going to use coloured pencils for it. So let's cut this out. So we're also going to have to cut this in half to fit it in here and trim it, which I'm not looking forward to. So I think it needs to go about there. Let's use my guillotine and hope that it doesn't rip my page in half, because it likes doing that. Maybe if I cut it this way. I'm nervous. Okay, there we go. And it didn't rip. Perfect. Right, because it doesn't quite reach the edges, I'm going to paint the edges black so that it looks like a border. Okay, now let's try and stick this in.
I've also just found the most Northern British thing I think I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Greg's have opened a pub in Newcastle.
Of course they have. Now we just need to get the other side in, which is going to be a little bit more difficult because it's not a full piece, and this is not a Draw Your Adventure. Oh, that's like almost perfect height. I've put all the tape on this side of the page, and now I need to try and flip this page over, and oh, I don't know if this is going to work. I thought this was working, now I'm regretting that idea. Maybe I don't do it like that. Oh. Okay. Oh, there we go. There's a little bit of a crease and a bit of a gap there, but you know what? I'm happy with that. Okay, so let's finish drawing this. So I forgot to press record, so I've already started on this, but I have on my pencil, ooh, here, I have to sharpen now, so let's continue. Oh, bugger, I keep doing this. That's done, and I'm just going to go over bits of the title bit because it's a bit covered up by the pen. So that's this page done. What do you think of it? I love it. I love it so much. So these bits I had to cut off, I'm going to put in my daily doodle diary. Okay, so it's a different day, and for some reason the weather has decided to go from like 17 degrees to like 4 or 5 degrees overnight at the weekend, so it is freezing. So I have my hoodie on, and we're gonna get back into this and do the next page. Let's get into it. What's the star sign? Draw something related or make up your own. I am an Aries, and I have done a little bit of research into star signs because I will admit I'm maybe pagan, but I'm not really into astrologies. It's far too much information to keep in my brain. So I did a kind of sketch and some research here and came up with this rough design. Aries is the ram sign. It is from March 20th to April 19th, and my birthday is April 12th. They are a fire sign. The colour associated with them is red. Plants associated are thistle and honeysuckle, and their birthstone is diamond. They are passionate and independent, competitive, loyal, smart, impulsive, natural born leaders, impatient and short-tempered. So I decided to go with the competitive and go with a gamer gal, give her ram horns, and choose alternative because I don't draw people who aren't alternative, let's face it. And here is my finished sketch. The drawing here, and then we have like a character sheet here. I haven't finished filling this out yet, we'll work that out. I'm not sure about a name yet, I haven't come up with a name. I might just ask you guys to come up with a name for me. Right then, let's get to outlining this. No! Oopsie. Well, that's really annoying. I just ripped the paper slightly, but it will be fine. It will be fine. So I have finished doing the outlines, and I think I'm really not happy with the horns. I completely messed them up. I didn't make my sketch very well, and I also didn't look at a photo to do them, and the hands I also am not too pleased with. But it is what it is. Let's get into colouring. Okay, I'm quite liking how this has gone. So I'm going to do the white highlights now. Let's cut these out and stick them in. Okay, I'm just going to give this a trim. Okay, I ran out of storage for a second there, so you missed me finishing this up. But here is the finished page. I love my little character, and you'll have to tell me what name we should give this character, because I have no idea. So the only thing left in this episode is to finally do the cover, which has got a bit dirty, which is not ideal. However, to do the cover, I'm going to be making a little bit of mess, so I will need to do it outside, which means I need to wait until tomorrow because it is getting dark outside. So as you can see, we are not outside, we're in the garage because it is wet and rainy outside. I have taped off all the areas that I don't want to get paint on and done a base white coat just because I had some marks, and I've just covered up like the barcode and stuff because I don't need that anymore. And now we're going to use the paint from my Poscas, hopefully, to create blood spatter or paint splatters across the front, and we're going to use these paintbrushes to hopefully do that. Okay, so this is all dry now. So we've done all of the sides. Now I just want to do some bigger splotches of paint. Okay, I'm really liking how the blood splatters are coming out. And now I need to peel off the masking tape, and I really hope it hasn't ruined the thing underneath, so I'm going to go with the back first and try and get this. If I can find an edge. There we go. Okay, that actually looks really good so far. I knew I was going to have to touch up some of these areas, so that's not a problem. However, this pink doesn't really go with the vibe, so I am going to have to cover up some of this. I'm going to try and keep as much of the words as possible, but I don't think I'm going to keep the words down here. Okay, so I finished colouring this in red. I had to cover all the writing other than this bit because it was just, I didn't have a fine enough point on my Posca. And so obviously I need to clean up the edges and this, and then I'm going to add back some of the writing, but it's not going to be all of it. I'm not writing all of that back on there. this is dry. Let's turn it over and do the front. So pretty much rinse and repeat. So I am so happy with how this has come out. However, I am really nervous about this getting ruined. So I'm going to try and cover it. So I bought this sticky back book cover protector thing. And I managed to leave it on my partner's table where one of the cats decided to play with it. And so it is full of holes. There is a small area here that is just big enough for the book that should hopefully not have any holes in it, or not have any bad holes in it at least. So I'm gonna cut this out and I'll get back to you. So I've never used anything like this before, but I think it's a bit like the vinyl that people use on sticker sheets, and I've seen lots of people make those. So I'm going to try my best to do that and just peel it a little bit off a time and then like squeegee it with my trusty Nando's reward card. Putting on this cover was so much easier than I expected. That kind of trick where you put a little bit on and then squeegee it whilst you're pulling the other thing away and just doing it in sections. It was so easy. I was not expecting it to be so easy. There are a couple air bubbles, but that's just from me being impatient mainly. And also because the painted texture means there was a little bit of texture that it had to go over, so it's not completely flat, but that's not a problem. There is one cat claw here and I managed to get it on the front by accident, so that's a little bit annoying, but hopefully this should protect it a bit whilst we're using it now. Oh my god, I am so happy with this. So all we need to do now is take off the paper that is protecting all the pages. That should be pretty simple. Here are the final results. I am in love with this cover. It's very me, very alternative, I think. And for the other pages that we did today, we of course filled this page in. Which artist are you? Create a piece that encompasses you. I feel like this encompasses quite a few of my styles. And Aries star sign. I love her and we still need a name, so remember, comment down below and give me a name for our Aries streamer stoner girl. I am so happy how all of this has turned out. Let me know what you think about the different things we've made today. And yeah, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.